Good morning to you. Take us through what is expected to happen from the court proceedings, but we do know it is usually not a long procedure.
Definitely, Palisa, a very good morning to you and the viewers at home. We are coming live from the Supreme Court of Appeal here in Bloemfontein. Of course, the judgment is expected to be delivered at 9:45 this morning. We do not expect it to be a really long, drawn-out procedure in this kind of matters. We expect the judge who's going to deliver the judgment to just go to the summary of it, something which may last about 5 minutes or so, just to explain as to how did they come to the conclusion or the verdict of the matter. As you have correctly explained, that it is the prosecution who felt that the sanction which has been imposed to Oscar Pistorius was very lenient. In crimes of this nature, they would expect a minimum sentence of 15 years because they felt 6 years was very lenient given the serious nature of the crime. But of importance is to explain the importance is to explain the need for the prosecution to challenge this kind of precedents that have been set by the lower courts or the high court. But to explain it further is my educated attorney here, Ntate Teboho Letshaba. First question here, Ntate, is that the importance of the Supreme Court of Appeal to intervene in this kind of matters, given the fact that what has been argued by the prosecution was that if this matter is not challenged, other cases that may come afterwards, they may use the very same judgment as a precedent.
Thank you, Teboho. The most important part is the fact that, Mr. Pistorius has been convicted of murder, which the Supreme Court of Appeal has overturned from culpable homicide. And the precedent that it would set a very bad precedent, take into account further that the Criminal Law Amendment Act stipulates that the minimum sentence should be 15 years, not unless there are compelling circumstances, in which event the court may impose a lesser sentence. So in this instance, what I perceive the court would do is that they would still impose maybe a sentence higher than 15, or rather between 6 and 15 years, and suspend part of it, taking into account the period that Mr. Pistorius would have spent already, or has already spent in custody.
There you heard it, Palisa and the viewers, right here from the Supreme Court of Appeal. It's just a matter of an hour for Pistorius to know as to whether his 6 years prison sentence will be confirmed or it will be upgraded by the very Supreme Court of Appeal. It's back to you in the studio.
All right, Teboho, thank you so much indeed. That's our reporter live from the Supreme Court of Appeal in Bloemfontein, Teboho Letshaba. As he said, Pistorius has an hour to know where his fate is. Moving along now, the